Hi everyone, Sailor Moon Serena here, and Sailor Earth Ernest here. And today we're going to talk about, why we don't skim out our films. First off, it just takes up too much time. I know there's going to be folks that will tell you that, you can do it fast. But sadly, it takes up a lot of time. And back in the day when we did do any kind of skimming, and it would have been with Smallsoft Windows Filmmaker, which has only been renamed as Smallsoft Windows Film Skimmer. And that's the least of it. It does take a lot of time. Now, yeah, you could have like an ArcSoft tool, which we did have when we had our HP web shooter, with ArcSoft Film for Layer and ArcSoft Web Shooter Friend. Yeah, well, guess what? Those two names are kind of misleading. Because at the end of the day, they might, they be faster to fillet a film. But that's as far as it goes. And if you even thought that you could cut or skim anything out of your films with the ArcSoft tools back in the day, think again, because the ones we had wouldn't cut nothing out. It's almost as if someone shifted that setting off. Oh yeah, you can make your films brighter and darker. You could give it a beginning sheet, an end sheet, hell, a middle sheet if it would let you. But you see, even though the ArcSoft tools could give you the same things, at least they were fast for laying the film. Now, getting back to Smallsoft Windows Filmmaker, it took way too long to fillet any shifts you did make to the film. So, it takes up too much time. And at the end of the day, it's nothing really anything outstanding about these tools. And now, you have to be logged in through, I don't know, your Google Reckoning or Apple Reckoning, whatever reckoning you have, a Smallsoft Reckoning, whatever, just so you can go into these tools. But it's not as smooth as you think, because then you got to set up a whole reckoning bullshit with that. So yeah, not going through that. And at the end of the day, unless you have worked the shit out of this tool, and you have made sundry throwaway films that you didn't give a shit about, and you knew what every tool and setting did, then you can show off. Well, you're always asking way too much out of these tools when it comes to cutting or skimming anything out. Some tools, they wouldn't do anything, they wouldn't cut nothing out. Others would be a hit and miss, where it would cut something out and let you work with the half of the film before and the half of the film after the cut. Or other times it would say, sorry, can't do that. And that's just the least of our binds to why we don't skim or cut our films out. Oh, want to go on now? Yeah. Thank you, Sailor Moon. Anyway, the other grounds why we don't skim or cut or clean our films out with any film skimming tool that's either on Smallsoft Windows 11 or one you could buy or freeware, doesn't really care. Because at the end of the day, we think that we keeping all these things in our films make our films lifelike. And if you're one of those folks that's into, oh, my uploads and my live streams and my shorts got to be flawless, well, I'm sorry to hear that if you want to make your films flawless. Which, even if you skim it, it's still not going to be flawless either. And a lot of these film skimming tools are really too hard to work. You don't know what any of the tools do. You don't know what any of the settings do. You know, it's not like it comes with a handbook or easing with a handbook. You know, it's not easy. It's like it doesn't come with a handbook, and some of these businesses might let you download a handbook, which is bullshit. But even if it did come with a handbook, it still wouldn't help you that much anyway. You know. And sometimes skimming out your film gives YouTube or whatever website that you're uploading and relaying your work to a forgiveness to get stuck. So yeah, we're not going to. So yeah, there's all the grounds to why we do not skim or cut or clean our films. You know. And at the end of the day, if there are any trolls or haters or whatever you want to call yourselves who only watch films that folks skimmed or give folks shit for not skimming out their films, well, sorry about that. But no, not sorry about that. At the end of the day, if someone chooses to skim their films or not, it's their own business and their own choosing. You know, and don't say skimmer as our friend, because the skimming tools that we have are not friendly. Want to go back to you, Sailor Moon? Yeah. Anyway, thank you, thank you, Ernest. At the end of the day, a lot of haters and trolls will say things like, oh, skimmer is your friend. Well, the skimming tools that we worked with in the past and the ones that we have now are still not our friend. They're more like a friend who has a handicap, a weakness. So he or she could only help you so much shit. So I don't want to hear about how it's our friend. It's not. Need be it's your friend, but it's our foe. And anyway, it takes up too much time. It ends up besmirching your film if you don't know what any of the settings or tools do. Either it takes too long to fillet your films. It ends up getting your films getting stuck in filleting because you did something to it when you skimmed it or whatever the hell. So yeah, that's why we don't skim our tools out. You know, and at the end of the day, they're all weak, don't really work truly well, and all have weaknesses. And that goes for the free weird ones and the ones you gotta buy. So yeah. So anyway, if you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the other film that we made yesterday over here. I, Sailor Moon Serena. I, Sailor Ernest. And we'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.